What's up everyone, Darcblade here, bringing you a new show that I call The Gun Guide. Now this is a show basically about the default weapons in Uncharted 3, and I am going to give you my thoughts and opinions on these weapons and rate them to give you a basic guide of how good I think they are. Now your opinion may differ, you may be better with some guns than I am, but this is just an overall sort of guideline thing. Now, let's kick it off with the first show, which is for the AK47. Now you can see the stats here for the gun, pretty basically an all-rounder gun I find it. The AK47 is basically the most common gun in the game. It's the default gun. It's the gun you start with on all your multiplayer profiles, and it is also the gun you'll be using a lot in the co-op, both arena and co-op adventure. Now as you can see, the AK47 is a fully automatic rifle with holding up to 30 rounds per clip. This is obviously without any mods on the gun at all. The AK-47 really does lack in accuracy at long distance. This is basically due to its high recoil rate. Your reticle bounces all over the place, thus making long-range combat very difficult. However, this is basically countered with the fact that the AK-47 is extremely good. Well, not extremely good, but fairly good, admirable at medium to close range. Now there are various versions of the AK-47 in terms of treasure guns. There's the Jade AK, Eddie's AK, Drake's AK, my favourite, and Navarro's AK. Now out of all of these, like I said, I prefer Drake's. This is basically because of the mods on the gun. But I have talked to a lot of people and they tend to favour that Eddie's AK is the best. Now the main thing about the AK-47, or learning how to be good with it, is handling its recoil. Now as you see the reticle, there is a tiny white dot in the centre of the reticle. Basically the first shot you fired will always hit dead centre, but the following shots will bounce all over the shot depending where the reticle moves to. Now, there is a rumour, I don't know if it's confirmed, but basically if you land the first shot, that there is a bit of auto aim on the following shots after. Whether this is true or not is another matter. I have tested it, and to be honest, I cannot tell one way or the other if this is true. Also note that when you fire, well, continuously fire, the crosshair expands, getting bigger, thus also making the dot in the middle bounce around even more, thus making your accuracy, well, bad, if you want to call it that. Obviously, this isn't a problem if your target is right in front of you. Now, long-range combat isn't impossible, as you see in this clip. If you are controlled and firing single shots rather than burst fire, you can pull off long shots fairly well. Obviously, this is nothing compared to other guns like the GMAL or the sniper rifles at all, but this might prove a handy tip for those in long-range combat situations. Now on the flip side, going into fairly close combat situations, the AK-47 has a reliable and good, in my opinion, blind fire accuracy. You can press down the trigger and just aim in the general direction of people, and most of the shots seem to connect. Now this is no way as good as, say, the Cal-7 or even the M9, but it does a really okay job, suitable job. One of the reasons why I think the AK is an all-rounder gun. Now that all being said and done, the AK for me, I personally think is best in medium range combat. Not too far away that the recoil is going to cause you problems, but close enough so you don't have to rely on blind firing as well. Now that being said, it's better to be a little too close than too far away, because you can always switch from the medium aiming down the sights range to the blind firing close combat situations as needed. Now as for gun mods, basically I feel this is down to player preference, as all the mods have a place with this gun. Nothing much more to be said on that. Anyway, let's recap. Now basically the AK-47 is a good all-round gun. Another plus is that it is good at close ranged combat. Another plus is it performs well at medium range combat and is probably optimal for this gun. The AK also has a fairly accurate blind fire, but it is very bad at long range and has one of the worst recoils in the game that I can tell. Now they were basically my pros and cons of this gun, and this is basically how I'm going to judge each gun from now on, giving you the pros and cons of the gun and what I feel is its most optimal range and proficiency. Now, that being said, I should also add that the AK47 does take 5 bullets to the head to kill, whilst it takes 7 bullets to the body to kill. Now, Uncharted 3 is a bullet spongy game. People do take a lot more hits than you would in real life, but you adapt and you use the guns, like in this guide, to help you win your overall games and achieve what you want. Now, the AK47 rating, for me, is a 7 out of 10. It is pretty much an all-rounder gun. Not too bad at anything, but not particularly good at anything. Now please subscribe, like and comment if you enjoyed, and hopefully I'll bring you some more of these guides soon. I've been Darcblade, and take it easy.